On January the 24th, 2023, anti-hunt campaigners celebrated a huge victory. The Scottish Parliament passed the Hunting with Dogs Act, and we even posted this celebratory tweet, which was viewed over 700,000 times because many of us believed this new law would finally put an end to fox hunting in Scotland. This new law replaced the Protection of Wild Mammals Act of 2002 and was seen as groundbreaking because it introduced stricter measures to prevent the hunting of wild mammals with dogs. The Act introduced three major changes. First, it set a 2-dog limit aiming to end traditional pack hunting. Second, it banned trail hunting, which is so often used as a cover for illegal hunts. And third, it implemented a licensing scheme, allowing exceptions in specific cases, like preventing damage to livestock or crops where more than 2 dogs could actually be used. So how have things actually gone in the year since this law was introduced? Well, you might not like the answer to this question because the early signs aren't great. Let's start with the licensing system. Between November 2023 and April 2024, Nature Scot issued over 40 licenses under the new law, and 31 of them allowed the use of more than 20 dogs. According to the Daily Record, communications between Nature Scot and the League Against Cruel Sport Scotland revealed that 4 of these licenses were even issued to a dog handler known to work for the Lauderdale Hunt. And sadly, it gets worse. Nature Scot even admitted they might have issued licenses to other hunts too, but they couldn't be sure since they were given to individuals, not hunts. So it's literally anyone's guess how many of these 40 licenses have actually been used by hunts. You literally couldn't make this up. It's a joke, it really is. The body responsible for giving out the licenses and in enforcing them doesn't even know how many hunts may be taking advantage of the new scheme. And this is yet another reason why, not just on the issue of hunting, but when it comes to bird shooting too, this concept of licensing structure and schemes will never be the solution because enforceability is clearly a nightmare. And to demonstrate this, of the 31 licenses for 20 or more dogs being used, guess how many Nature Scot actually monitored for compliance? 2. That's right, literally 2 of the 31 licenses were actually monitored, meaning the other 29 licenses for 20 or more dogs were allowed to just get on with it and be trusted not to be hunting wildlife. A spokesperson said, "All licenses we have issued have been for the prevention of serious damage to livestock. We are committed to having appropriate, proportionate, and robust compliance monitoring in place for this licensed activity." Yet foxes are still being killed in Scotland. Scottish hunt saboteur groups like the Scottish Borders Hunt Sabs, Glasgow Hunt Sabs, and Edinburgh Hunt Sabs have been reporting ongoing illegal hunting. Surprise, surprise. For example, they captured evidence showing the Jed Forest Hunt continuing to chase and kill foxes. On Boxing Day 2023, the SAB groups reported that the Jed Forest Hunt shot and killed a fox whilst hounds surrounded them. Just a month later, on January the 28th, Glasgow Hunt Sabs found the Buccleuch Hunt out with a full pack of hounds. When questioned, the hunt claimed they were trail hunting, despite the Act specifically outlawing it. And what makes this even worse and more frustrating is that these issues were flagged over 2 years ago. Labour MSP Mercedes Villalba warned in 2022 that the licensing scheme could become a loophole, allowing hunts to continue as before. At the time, she said, although the bill will strengthen fox hunting laws, it will also introduce a licensing scheme that will allow hunting to continue in some circumstances. Under the proposed scheme, packs of dogs could still be used, and as a result, such packs would be exempt from the proposed 2-dog limit. That is evidently a loophole that could be exploited by people looking to get around the rules and continue with hunts. And lo and behold, that is exactly what is happening. Recently, Glasgow hunt saboteurs witnessed again the Jed Forest hunt killing a fox on November the 9th. The hunt claimed to be drag hunting, which involves hounds following an artificially scented material along a route, but the SAB group reported that hounds were clearly taken through a flock of terrified sheep and didn't follow the scent at all. The Jed Forest hunt also exploited another loophole where two dogs can flush a fox to waiting guns. In this particular case, they packed up most of the hounds, left two to surround a small patch of gorse, and as the fox tried to escape, the poor animal was then shot dead. Then, as reported, the hunt allowed the hounds to bite at the fox's body. The worst part, this is legal under the new law. Thankfully, the huntsman of the Jed Forest hunt was the first person charged under this law back in April. But whether the case will move forward and progress through the courts, and whether any justice will come of it, remains to be seen. It's clear that Scotland's new fox hunting law has fallen short. While it might have been put together with good intentions, the two-dog exception and a poorly monitored licensing scheme mean hunts have already found ways around it. Just as before, packs of hounds still roam the countryside, hunting wild mammals. This law needs urgent strengthening and improvements to remove these loopholes if it's to genuinely protect wildlife from hunting. And I urge the Labour Party here in England to learn from Scotland's example so we don't repeat these mistakes. Meanwhile, we'll keep fighting for a proper ban on hunting with dogs in England and Wales. Please sign our petition if you haven't already. And if you're new here, as always, please subscribe to us here on YouTube to stay up to date with our work. I'll also be leaving links below to the groups featured in this report so you can show them some love and support as they work to stop hunts in Scotland from killing wildlife.